late than never. Just been in the Heartfield with fantastic people creating awesomeness, and, well, you know, nothing else lights me up quite so much as creating and transformation and possibility and celebrating success and feeling into energies and getting little downloads and just, oh, this is the next thing. Oh, this is the little piece of feedback that's here for you. You know, I just love doing that. G'day, Linda. Gorgeous to see you, beautiful. So that's what I've been doing, and I got up early today. The sky was still black. There were stars. It was cold. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So, and I didn't take a picture at the top of the hill because I didn't have time to get to the top of the hill before I sat down at the workshop, and I decided not to take the time now. So I'm just here. Oh, let me show you the day. Good morning, Carmelina. Let me show you the day. There it is. Nora, hello, beautiful. See, it's very clear. You can imagine that the sky was black because I got up at about, before 5:30 this morning. It was gorgeous. I slept well. In fact, my body woke up before the alarm. It knew what it wanted to do. Here's the sun. And it's just a blue sky with a few clouds over there. So, you know, it's a fabulous... This really is the best time of year in Wellington, New Zealand, to enjoy the best weather. Hi, Julian. Lovely to see you again. We had such a good time in the Heartfield. Turn it back. Gotta enjoy this. I love the subtleness of the colour on the magnolia. And it's a bit contrasty because the sun's hitting it hard, but it's beautiful. Just look at that. I love the soft bronzing of the leaves and the fluffy buds, which won't come out for some months, but there they are. And I love the old seed heads of last year. Last season, not last year. You know, it's just, I love this time of year because everything's going to sleep. And it's not quite so crazy in the garden because everything's going to sleep. But you notice that the spring bulbs are already starting to wake up, which I always think is far too soon. It's like, it's not even winter yet. Go back to bed. But they start up already. So there you go. And there is the star of the show, the New Zealand kamahi, which is really quite bananas with all of its flowers. And you can see the last lot. I think it flowers twice a year. Brown seeds. Or seed pods. Okay, get on to the topic, Maddie. So, I was kind of scratching my head for a topic yesterday, and then I had this beautiful conversation with a friend, and I said, I got to get off the grass. It is slippery, because it's all covered in dew. And these shoes don't really have any tread on them because they're actually slippers. So, we're having this conversation, and then I said, well, I'm open to suggestions. And she said, well, what about focusing on possibility and, in particular, paying attention to your successes and what you have achieved rather than focusing on the things that haven't landed yet? Because don't we all find that easy? You know, it's like, oh, I'm not nearly as sick as I was, but I'm still not better. I'm not quite as poor or as desperate as I used to be, but oh, there's so much more I want. Holly, Dave, it's great to see you both. Lovely to see you today. John, I can see your little face showing up above. It's beautiful to have you with us. And so I thought, well, yes, and there was a whole bunch of stuff. She wrote me this little thing. I thought, oh my God, there's probably 2 or 3 lives in there. But I just wanted to focus on this idea of actually not selectively editing our memories, because we do that, by the way, all the time, to forget about what we've achieved and what we've succeeded on already. Because it's very human to do this, you know. You're in the depths of despair and you actually claw your way out of the depths of despair, and then as soon as you've done that, you kind of forget that you did it and start looking at all the things that aren't quite right or aren't right. But we have to have some way of reminding ourselves of how far we've come. And I don't mean looking backwards, but it's just very easy for us to forget how far we've come. It's easy for me, being very direct, best to use myself as an example. It's very easy for me to say, well, I'm still not financially independent. I still don't make enough money to pay my own way. But the loans that I take against a future thing. Hi, Colette. Lovely to see you, gorgeous. The loans that I take against my inheritance, they don't happen so often. Like, the money is lasting longer, and honestly, the shutdown has made the money last longer as well. Now that the lockdown is lifting, some of that is disappearing because it's things that have been delayed. I've had some dental work done, which was necessary. But also there has been more income. And I could say, but there hasn't been enough income. I'm not financially independent yet. I could grizzle about that, and I could look at all the things that haven't landed, or the fact that, my group hasn't grown very fast, and I don't mention it because I'm fundraising, so why would I do two, But, I haven't had any new supporters sign up in ages. Like, does nobody care? Does nobody want to go? It's like, get over it, Maddie. Look at how much things have changed, and more than that, because remember, my world is a 360-degree holographic projection of who I am being. And so look at how much I've changed who I'm being, because these things have changed. My money's lasting longer. I do have more people in my group. Whatever. But more than that, look at how differently I feel. Because who I am, how I feel, what I think, what I feel, what I do, that creates my reality. And yeah, you're right, this is really close to gratitude and appreciation. It does. Being in alignment with all that's good in your present moment. Totally, Linda. And really, that's the thing, because we have this choice about whether we focus on what we do have or what we don't have, what we have achieved or what's still to come. And the thing is that if you're always paying attention to the piece that hasn't arrived yet, you keep yourself in lack. Me too. And when you're in lack, when you're in, oh God, it's not happening, because the only information that can make it into your nervous system is equal to your emotional state at any particular time, and that is a fact. If you're wandering around in lack and separation and feeling like your dreams are never going to come to you and it's impossible, it's not going to happen, you could have the most fantastic opportunity walk up to you and beep you on the nose, and you wouldn't see it. Kaya, good morning, gorgeous. You just wouldn't see it. Or you'd say, oh, no, I can't do that. Well, nah, you must be kidding. This is too good to be true. Nah. And your lack and your frustration or whatever it is, you'll just blow the thing off, or you simply won't see it. And we've all probably, at one time or another, you've had the experience that you looked for something forever and ever and ever, and you just couldn't find it. My husband's had this happen to him. And I remember he spent weeks looking for something, and he gave up, and it just wasn't there. And then time went by, and he changed. My goodness, he changed. So have I. And he, 6 months later, I think it was, he went looking for the same thing. First search he did, there it was. Bought it, no problem. You've been searching and searching and searching. You think the internet doesn't respond to your state of being and show you exactly what you expect at a most fundamental level to see? Yeah. We create our realities, and if you're always paying attention to what you don't have and what hasn't arrived yet, if you're still feeling angry or resentful because you don't have $1 million, you're never in gratitude about the fact that you can eat. Just bear in mind, there are plenty of people around the planet right now who don't get to eat. What are you going to pay attention to? Whatever it is that you're struggling with, whatever it is you're facing, there's always somebody better off, and there's always somebody worse off. So do we ever have any excuse to kind of poison ourselves and torture ourselves, because it really is torment to be in that state of lack and misery and you know, I can do that to myself. Nobody's doing it to me. Laura, it's great to see you, honey. You know, it's such a basic thing. So why would you not pay attention, or why would you forget your what you've achieved, right? Why would you forget? Well, I think, and it was really interesting in the course of this conversation with my beautiful friend yesterday, it was really apparent. I mean, and she reached out to me and said, look, I'm really struggling, you know. So we had this conversation in chat while I was on Facebook, doing other things at the same time, but I can multitask. When I'm there, I'm there. And then, you know, if someone's writing, I have time to do something else, and that's okay, and then I'm back. When I'm paying attention, I'm paying attention. And it was just interesting seeing how a little bit of support, a little bit of being seen and reminded of, hey, do you remember 6 months ago how it was for you? And look at who you are now and how different you are. And it was like, oh yeah. And suddenly everything was switched on again. All that had happened was that my friend had gotten into a pretty high beta state. There was a lot of fear. There's lots of really powerful three-dimensional things going on in that person's world, why any sane human being could be scared. So it's not a criticism, it's just what happened. I would get into high anxiety too, okay? But what was amazing and beautiful and incredible to me is how quickly this person shifts, and I've seen her do it many times. She's the master of flip-flop, because everybody's going to react, right? You and I, we're going to lose the plot, we're going to get scared, we're going to forget all that we've created, and we're going to forget that we are connected to possibility and that everything is available to us. If we can just become the person who has it and is it and does it and bees it, we all forget. The question is how long we allow ourselves to stay forgotten. Larry, g'day. Jennifer, hello. So, you know, how do you get out of that spiral? Nesreen, it's lovely to see you. Yay! And for my friend, it was just a little bit of support and a few reminders. But then she started reminding herself because she shifted her emotional state. Now, bear in mind, there are people that you can be positive with, and all they want to do is continue to complain. So just because you pay a little attention to somebody and give them some love is no guarantee that they're going to choose to change. Oh, she was choosing. She didn't need a little bit of a bump, you know. We all get that. The point was that as soon as kind of like the deadlock got broken, she was on it. It just delights me. Because I lose the plot too. You know, like I said, I spent the weekend in a pretty stressful state. My body tied itself in a knot, and then my brain followed suit. And I managed to find a way to untie it, which was really nice. So it really is about where you put your attention, is where your energy is. But there does come a point where if your body and brain become very incoherent, it becomes really, really hard to yank yourself out of it. It takes an enormous effort of will, and sometimes it takes a little support as well. And we all need that. Me too, you know. It's not about always feeling like I have to solve this all myself. I have to be able to do this all myself. I should be able to do this all myself. Not beating yourself up because you don't happen to be able to do it all yourself. I can't do it all myself. That's not the point. Something I'm still learning. The bump. Just a little nudge, you know, somebody or something that helps you get over yourself. Something that, and by get over yourself, I don't mean that, get over yourself. I mean something that helps you overcome your fear, overcome your panic, overcome your sadness, overcome your rage, overcome whatever it is in you that's flaring and roaring and sending you into a spin, and help you remember who you are again and how far you've come and what you have achieved. And then you can start to celebrate it and appreciate it and be grateful for it, and your mood lifts and your state changes, your brain becomes more coherent, and yeah, it is moral support to a certain extent. But like I say, the person has to actually be willing to receive it and do something useful with it, eh? Hi, Rhonda. Great to see you too. And so, yeah, it is teamwork sometimes. But, you know, the valuable thing was that my friend was really conscious, saying, I'm reaching out. I actually need a little help here. But she's written to me many times saying, you know, I yanked myself back out of the abyss. She's done it over and over and over and over again. And yes, sometimes a little reality check is really helpful. Just a little support, a little love. And, you know, sometimes a walk outside will do it, because when you go out into nature, you open your focus. I was talking about opening your focus, was it yesterday or the day before, whatever, and I completely left out the most obvious, quick, fast hack to do that, assuming you're not locked in, which you may be. If you can go out into nature, as soon as you go outside into nature, your brain starts to pay attention to the space around you. That helps you open your focus. And when you open your focus, your brain calms down, tends to go at least towards alpha. And that's why one of the reasons why nature is so healing, because it slows down the brain. You come out of anxiety, you come out of panic, you come out of lack, you come out of, oh God, I'm never going to master this, and start to feel better. And that's one of the reasons why nature is so healing. There's many. So to open your focus, get your attention off the thing that's saying, you're never going to do this, it's not happening, and say, hang on a minute, that's not true. It's not true. If I believe what I'm told, and if I go and do some research and get more information about it, and if I start to even sometimes remember that I've felt the truth of this, I am unlimited and I am infinity and I am divine. And if that's who I am and what I am, then all of this stuff that I'm believing is true about me isn't true. And hang on a minute, what was it that I did believe? Because if I know this, then I must have felt this at least once. So what the hell were those feelings? And, you know, it takes a very deep choice sometimes to actually even do that. You may not be able to get the feelings, but maybe you can just remember them. Oh, yeah, many people have trouble not just expressing what's inside. I think they have trouble expressing because they don't actually know what's inside, because they don't have the ability to be really present with themselves and ask themselves the right questions. Because, you know, people say, oh, why do I feel this way? And then they go back into the past about, well, this happened and that person said blah, 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 blah. And you know how that goes. And actually, that's not the point. It really is not the point why I feel the way I do. Because so what? Oh, here's all the reasons. That really helps me change it. No. I feel like this. Okay. But actually, how do I want to feel? And often as you start moving, pushing, exploring, tending, intending, yanking sometimes yourself towards saying, I'm going to feel this way instead, or I'm going to think that thought even though it feels really wrong for me, or whatever it is you do, as you start to become, or even just try to become the person that you want to be, the happy person, the abundant person, the happy person while your life is unchanged, the abundant person while you have no money, the healthy person while you're still sick. Do you understand? I'm saying you do this while nothing has changed, and that's why it's so hard. But as you start to even just think, well, if I was healthy, how would I be thinking? What would I be thinking about? I wouldn't be thinking about my next medication and how much pain I'm in and when can I take the next lot of pain relief. I'd be thinking about what I'd be doing today. So I got to start thinking those thoughts, even though everything in my body is saying, are you nuts? You're still sick. It's called the sun, Kaya. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's beautiful. So, you know, we and it feels mechanical and it feels metal, it feels like a lie, and it's not true, but it is, if we slowly work our way into being that. And every time you make the conscious choice to think the thought of the healthy person or the happy person or whatever it is person you want to be, that is a huge victory. Because if you've been thinking thoughts like a lackful, sick, miserable, whatever person it is that you've been for 40 years, and you fire a new thought, Oh my God, that's amazing. And, you have to pay attention to that and realise that if you manage to do that once, first of all, you can do it again. And secondly, if you did it once, you made new neural connections in your brain. You can do it again. You can strengthen those neural connections. And then what happens is you fire and wire those connections about being happy or joyful or healthy or wealthy or whatever it is that you want. You get different chemistry that pours from those neural connections when they fire and they strengthen, and more neurons make bigger and richer neural networks in your brain about being happy and healthy and wealthy and wise. And the more it fires and wires, the more you get the chemistry, the more your body starts to feel like it. And that's a pretty damn good feeling. Even if you're sitting in a house that's falling down, if you can feel like that, you know that the house is repaired. Because you feel it, you are it. And every time you move one step, one thought, one choice, one behaviour, whatever it is, towards that state of being, that is progress and that is greatness. When everything outside you is saying, are you kidding? And you say, no, I'm not kidding. This is who I am now. And it comes a level of intensity and determination that you didn't know you could have, because you just made up your mind. And everything's still going on and your body's still raging. That is greatness, and that is amazing, and that is to celebrate about yourself. And when you're in that state of mind, it's like, heck, I just did that. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that again. Oh God, I'm so tired. That was really, really hard. Yeah, okay. But maybe when I've rested, I can do it again. It's different. And you become open to possibilities, and you see things that you simply wouldn't see before because you were, oh no, I can't do that. I'm too shy to take that opportunity. I'm too sick to do that. I don't have enough money to do that, and there's no way that it could happen for me for free or for cheap, or nobody's ever going to give me. You are that, and so that is it. Every time you step away from that in any way, never mind if something material changes in your life, that's a cause, that's an effect. This is the cause. Whenever you change who you're being, whenever you put energy into not going back to who you used to be, that's something to appreciate and be grateful for, that you have the will and the determination and the love for yourself to do that. I take my hat off to you if that's you. I know what it's like, and it's worth the effort. I'm pretty sure I'm out of time. Probably way out of time. I'm way out of time. Adrian, it's lovely to see you just in time to say hi. Thank you so much for joining me at a later than usual time. Big love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.